Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today I thought I'd go over some updates with the Festival of the Lost event. But before we jump into it, I'd appreciate if you like my content and keep up to date on all Destiny 2 news, information, leaks, tutorials, that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, let's jump into it. So, actually on Friday, October 9th, Bungie Help Twitter account actually tweeted out stating that they adjusted the drop rates for the Cipher decoders even further and made it so it's guaranteed to drop 2 per drop. They also went on to note that Ciphers do not drop from enemy kills, gambit, forges, and non-playlist strikes. And with that being said, this is probably going to be the last buff to the drop rate of these things. So if you're going to grind to get these triumphs done, it seems like now would be the time. And since the drop rate increased on Friday, this has actually been realized that there is some alternative ways to grind this out. Now the first way you can do this is the first way I presented in the previous video, so if you want to see that, it will be linked in the description down below. If you're unaware what I'm talking about, it's doing certain patrols on the moon. And also at the time of making this video, what I personally found to be the absolute best way to do this is actually through the 750 version of the Nightfall ordeal. Now maybe this was just straight up sheer luck, but when I was doing the Nightfall ordeal on 750, I was actually doing runs within between 5 to 7 minutes. And out of the 7 total runs I did, I actually got it to drop 5 out of the 7 runs. I mean, if you're pretty good at the strike, you could probably do it faster than any other method presented. Now, at the time of making this video, the Nightfall is the Garden World, which is the Nightfall I'm referencing, but there's a possibility that this Nightfall isn't going to be available after this video is published, or at the very least, it's not going to be available for much longer. So this method isn't exactly the most sustainable. And this sort of brings me to the third method, which is actually doing certain story missions. If you guys are not aware, in the strikes tab, there's actually a tab on the far left, which gives you the ability to select story missions that are changed on a daily basis, and occasionally there's a story mission or two that will appear that you can do in less than 5 minutes, and I've heard that's actually a pretty efficient farm. Although, again, it comes down to a sustainability issue, and that simply comes from, it changes on a daily basis. And so, if all else fails, you go back to the method I presented last video, which is doing patrols on the moon. But I just wanted to make it known of some variations in case you're getting bored of running patrols on the moon. Next up, let's talk about the 2 auto rifles. Now it comes to the Horror Story and Braytic Werewolf auto rifles. These auto rifles actually make up pretty damn good PvE guns. But unfortunately, they are 450 auto rifles, so they don't really have much use in PvP, because obviously 600s are dominating right now, so. And honestly, no official list of every single perk that can be earned on these auto rifles has been given out either, so because of that, I also can't do a full-fledged review on these guns. So if you really want to grind out these guns, when it comes to PvE, I'd just say, if you have it available to you, pull out the collections roll. That is a perfect roll for both guns. And I mean, if you want, there's a possibility that Bungie could update 450s when Beyond Light comes, so it's not entirely crazy to go out and grind PvP rolls. But only go out and grind these guns if you're crazy about getting the roll. Don't obviously do it if you're burnt out at the game at the moment, because you obviously don't want to get burnt out before a big crazy update like Beyond Light comes out. Overall, I'd say, unless you really want these 2 guns, do not go out of your way to grind out this event. It's totally 100% not worth it. I guess at the end here, we'll have a little sort of bonus thoughts here. I do appreciate Bungie going out of their way to quickly adjust the drop rate for the Ciphers. But even with the buff to the drop rate, I think all of my previous criticisms of the event still stand. And just sort of reinforces the fact that I don't think Cipher should have been introduced whatsoever. It's just RNG on top of RNG to get people playing the game when it's down. Honestly, they should have just made the total amount of chests tied to the general amount of branches cleared, and there wouldn't have been a shitstorm to begin with. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. So as John, if you'd like, go ahead and give a like. I would appreciate a subscribe, but anyways, I'll see ya in the next one. Peace.